Hello again and welcome back. I'm Jackie Hawk and this is Nami Nation by Kai's Corner Productions. You can find me at Quillful Writer on social media, and as usual, I am always happy to chat about games. On a previous episode, we mentioned how Critical Role, the series, was planning on launching a video game in the near future. More recently, they put their stream on pause for a week, and the Critical Role cast put the LA fires first. Many of the team members live in the city, from voice actors to production and support staff. Through the Critical Role Foundation, or CRF, they donated $30,000 to the California Community Foundation's Wildlife Recovery Fund. Much of that is possible because of the fandom, which can donate to the CRF and help support efforts like combating these wildfires. The CRF has set aside 10% of each donation, and that's what gave them the chance to donate as much as they did. With 5 main fires, there has been a lot of loss, and thousands of evacuated citizens with fewer places to go as buildings are damaged or burned down. But the community is coming together both in LA and beyond. That's something about gamers I don't think gets acknowledged as often. We're used to teamwork. We band together in a crisis and we help each other out. To see the Critical Role Foundation and the creative team behind this beloved series come forward and represent that aspect of gaming community so well in such difficult times really means a lot. And if you gamers out there have something you can give towards the cause, there are many organizations still accepting donations. A few to consider are the LAFD Wildfire Emergency Fund, Mutual Aid LA, and Our Big Kitchen. On a much less serious scale, other creative communities are working to come together as well. The Consumer Electronics Show ran from January 7th to 10th, covering a wide range of technology. At the Labor Innovation and Technology Summit panel, one session about negotiating AI contracts was moderated by Linda Powell, EVP of SAG-AFTRA. We've covered some of this union's strike history in our other episodes, and staying in touch with their current stances could give us an idea of when that strike might come to a close, even if they're only half of the equation. CES did also feature AI products and services, but Duncan Crabtree Ireland, SAG-AFTRA's National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator, pointed out the difference in quality between AI at the show and less polished versions. Crabtree Ireland also explained that rejecting AI technology altogether wasn't an option, since that hasn't worked against any innovations in history either. The goal is transparency and protecting human workers from exploitation, at least as far as his concerns go. There is still friction between studios and streamers versus Hollywood talent, largely because of previous missteps like attempts to remove AI protections and contracts on the grounds of trust. But it does seem like the people opposed to or wary of AI technology are finding avenues to protect themselves, through sessions like that hosted by Powell, and so with that further negotiating ability, an end to the strike could be possible sometime soon. And speaking of beloved voice actors returning to work, Jennifer Hale has mentioned she'd like to come back with the rest of the Mass Effect cast for the Amazon TV series. We've only gotten bits and pieces about the show since it was announced in 2021, but Hale is very excited at the prospect of coming back as female Shepard, quote, in any form, end quote. From a professional who was recognized by Guinness World Records in 2013 as the most prolific female video game voice actor, the team would be a little crazy not to at least consider her after this eagerness for the project. She does seem open to cameos and Easter egg performances, which is every bit as good. I'm inclined to agree with Hale's stances that it's a great move to include as much of the original cast as possible, both based on Amazon's narrative and which actors will be available. The show is under development now, so it's possible Amazon MGM will call on the actors when they get further along the timeline and if those roles are present in the narrative. Looking further ahead, we have a couple new games that folks have really been looking forward to. The closest one is Civilization 7 for February 2025. It will be the first game in the series to be Steam Deck compatible. Civilization 6 fell short of this to just be playable for a few small reasons. The sequel to that game will also be available on Switch and a couple of Xbox and PlayStation consoles. This is a big move for the Civilization franchise, which only had PC exclusives and post-launch console games before this. With a foot in history and another in strategy, this game moves through the eras of human advancement to let you build your empire. The online multiplayer option is good for bringing friends into the games you'd like to play, or you can go by yourself while you remake history your way or stay true to the past. Different versions will have varying leaders and kingdoms to play, so plan ahead to get the edition that includes what you want to explore. Pre-purchase offers should be available until February 11th, but that might vary by platform. This game series has been around for decades, and they took new gamers into account when they designed this game. It's pretty easy to pick up with the tutorial and rather intuitive gameplay design. If you've been considering these games before, now might just be the time. The second game we have to share that's coming in 2025 is Mouse PI for Hire. This has reminded many gamers of Cuphead because of that 1930s black and white style, but it is set apart by being a first-person shooter. The art absolutely distinguishes it from any regular combat game where you'd probably take a grittier approach than old-time Mickey Mouse. But the team behind the game wants it known. This is about more than just the art. The social media post containing that message was just a hint for now, but it could refer to an interesting game mechanic for an FPS, or it could be a narrative element like with Bendy and the Ink Machine. This game only has a release year of 2025, no season or specific date, but the jazzy PI story seems like it's well worth the wait. Art is still definitely a big part of the game, even if it's not the focus, since they go out of their way to say everything is hand-drawn. Mouse PI for Hire will be available on PC, Xbox XS, and PlayStation 5. And on one last change, this is my final episode for Nami Nation by Kai's Corner Productions. We have several hosts taking my place, giving you variety as we go through gaming news together. These hosts will alternate, with writer Hale as one host while Dan and PJ will host together. On months with an odd number of weeks, there will be a 1-week intermission before the next episode goes live. As sad as I am to go, you are in excellent hands with these new hosts, and I hope you enjoy their news sessions just as much as ours. To meet these new hosts, remember to subscribe to our podcast, available on several platforms, and for more entertainment news, check out the KKP YouTube channel, and remember you can find me at Quillful Writer on social media, so I will still see you around.